Hi, my name is Josh Brody. I run the Lymphoma Immunotherapy program at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai in beautiful New York. So very exciting ASH 2025 annual meeting. Lots of progress in lymphomas and CLL. We're very lucky to have so much progress. In fact, there's so much, it's almost a problem of keeping track of all the progress, but that is a good problem to have. So we're very lucky. As probably the whole audience knows, a huge amount of progress, specifically in B-cell non-Hodgkin's lymphomas over the last 5 and really 25 years. And a lot of that is in immunotherapies, CAR T cells, as everyone is familiar with, FDA approved, but now some novel and I would say exciting CAR T cells. Instead of just attacking CD19 like all of the approved CAR T cells, we have either we say bicistronic or bispecific CAR T cells attacking CD19 and CD20, and a couple of those being reported here at ASH and some of those also recently published from other groups. Exciting but early data. We also have other immunotherapies. Now people are very familiar with bispecifics, and most of those bispecifics attacking also CD20. Some of those FDA approved, some of those getting brand new FDA labels. For example, for second-line follicular lymphoma, the use of epcoritamab plus rituximab lenalidomide with a huge benefit presented here at ASH by Dr. Felke and also now published in parallel in The Lancet. Very exciting new label, probably great improvement in outcomes for our patients. And beyond CD20 bispecifics, we have more and more data about slightly novel targets, but at least novel medicines. CD19 by CD3 bispecific, one of them is called surovatamig, used to be called AZD0486, and it looked good last year, but more and more and more data, awesome efficacy results in follicular lymphoma and very good or maybe great data in diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, and now doing studies with that molecule also to treat mantle cell lymphoma and CLL. So rapid progress in all of these parts of B-cell lymphoma. But let me say the part that we really sometimes neglected is patients with T-cell lymphomas. And sometimes we used to say that the T stands for terrible because prognoses are poor, and the progress has been hugely left behind compared to B-cell lymphoma progress. So we're lucky to have some very cool results here at ASH, and I'll just mention a few of them quickly because they're all early-ish studies, but I think all with promising futures. So folks are very familiar, of course, with BTK inhibitors for CLL and mantle cell lymphoma, and we have a number of them. BTK is actually a member of a group of kinases called the TEC family of kinases. We've got another TEC kinase called ITK, which instead of driving B cells, drives T cells. So now we have a new study of an ITK inhibitor. None of the names are simple. It's called soquelitinib. And soquelitinib just finishing up a phase 1 study, some data here at ASH, showing it had about a 39% response rate. And to be fair, that study's a small study, but seems to be very promising in that that level of efficacy is really better than just about every medicine that we've had FDA approved over the past decade for T-cell lymphomas. So that's part of the good news. But I would say the real good news is that that medicine looks to be extremely safe, definitely compared to other medicines we have for T-cell lymphomas. So safe that the group that is developing it is actually bringing it forward not just for cancer and lymphoma, but even for autoimmune and dermatologic diseases like atopic dermatitis. So it's got to be a pretty safe medicine if we're bringing it to people just to treat their rashes. Seems to be very safe in the early data, and we're now bringing that forward into a phase 3 randomized trial for T-cell lymphomas, soquelitinib ITK inhibitor versus standard of care therapies. And that shows a lot of confidence in the early results, and I'm pretty excited about that. Really, the business model of all of medical oncology, we should be combining safe medicines together into earlier lines of therapy. So since this soquelitinib looks to be pretty safe, huge opportunities in the future to combine it. And then I'll just mention 2 other T-cell lymphoma studies that are ongoing, but we're getting preliminary data here at ASH. And they are both, we've heard a lot about CAR T cells for B-cell lymphoma. Where are the CAR T cells for T-cell lymphoma? There have been very few. There are a few publications studying folks with T-cell acute leukemia. In fact, one of them just now in the New England Journal of Medicine targeting CD7 for T-cell leukemias. Focusing on lymphoma, less progress still. We have a couple now that are developing CAR Ts for T-cell lymphomas. Both of these are actually targeting CD5 on the T cells. A little bit of a problem there because when you target CD5 on a T-cell lymphoma, you could target it on the other CAR T cells as well. CAR T cells killing CAR T cells. We call this fratricide, killing your brothers. So thoughtfully, a couple of these groups have developed cool gene engineering approaches to prevent the CAR T cells from fratriciding, from killing each other. And now we have early data in small numbers of patients. So one of those new CAR T cells, this is being studied in something called the Viper trial. And the Viper 101 trial is looking at the CD5 CAR T cell called Senza-5 developed CAR T cells. So Viper 101 is presenting just about 6 patients or so here at ASH, and we've already seen a number of complete remissions, some of them reasonably durable so far. That's very exciting. And one of the others is called MB105, similar concept, a CD5 targeted CAR T cell. Again, presenting just a few patients here at ASH, 4 or 5 patients, but already showing complete remissions in a number of patients. Let's be fair, we have seen adverse events in both of these, and you would expect some infections when you're attacking T cells, and infections have been seen. Nonetheless, it's exciting to see this degree of efficacy, even if it's an early trial. So lots of progress for B-cell lymphomas and T-cell lymphomas, and the emphasis has been on developing new, and I would say elegant immunotherapies to get patients' immune systems to fight their own cancer. Very inspiring for all of us, I think.